Making this video was kind of eerie. The last 24 hours has been spent constantly watching the weather station, putting up shutters, and preparing for the storm. As I head out on the water the last 2 days, I couldn't help but think about how much these ecosystems are going to endure within the next 24 hours. 10 plus feet of storm surge, high winds, pollution. It seems like this storm is going to impact the fisheries for some time. As I worked my way through the backwaters, my surroundings confirmed this. Empty houses due to evacuation, big boats were being pulled from the water in the final hours, and sport fishers were tied up in the backwaters, hiding from the chaos. It was surreal. Despite this, I wanted to head out as close to the hurricane as I could, to try and see what the fishing would be like leading up to this monster storm. It was interesting to say the least, but ultimately successful. Join me as I truly fish the calm before the storm. The first trip was 2 days before Milton. It was less intense, but still, I knew what was to come. As I arrived to the ramp, I was greeted by some flooding due to the continuous rain the last couple days. The sand was muddy, the air was damp. As I looked out over the bay, I was a bit concerned. The wind was higher than I expected, as some of the bands from tropical storms preceded Milton. As I dropped the bird in, I began realizing that we may only have a couple hours to fish today, so I have to capitalize.
Alrighty guys, well, welcome back to another video. Got something special going on today. We have very little time to talk. I got to get going. Alright, so we got me and Caleb on the boat. Yeah, it is, I mean, as you guys probably saw, very stormy. We're on a time crunch. I'm trying to be off the water by like 10-ish, trying to just get in and get out, hopefully get on some nice fish. Tide is outgoing. It's gonna be low soon, which I love. Gonna be a little tricky in the egret. It's gonna get really shallow, but we should be all right. But with that being said, guys, there's stuff blowing up. I think I'm gonna start with this top water right here. Just saw a tarpon roll. I think I'm gonna start with this top water. It's a skitter walk 3-inch. We're gonna see what happens. Caleb's throwing a swim bait. I'm gonna throw that. The colors, whatever. I had another one snapped off yesterday, and then we're gonna be switching to some gulps, some just anything else that gets the job done. But I'll be showing you guys what we're throwing. But with that being said, guys, let's go get on some fish. Got a time crunch. Yeah, guys, we got a beautiful day. I'm super excited. It's such a kind of crappy day, but it's like perfect for fishing. Overcast. We had a little bit of like a cold front come through. No rain as of right now. I hope the rain stays away. I came out yesterday. It was raining. It was a pain in the butt. What's nice is with this wind, we're able to be protected on certain lines. And it's like there's no wind at all, which is just super nice. I'd be shocked if this top water doesn't get slammed. Tarpon right there.
The morning bite was extremely slow to start. We were seeing tarpon everywhere but could not get one to bite. After getting snagged, I had to hop out onto the oystery bottom to retrieve my topwater.
This thing was in here.
As I got back on the boat, we continued cruising down the line, hoping our luck would change.
It's honestly a really good day. Guys, there's so many tarpon around. I'm gonna switch to the Z-Man shrimp. I think it'll get the job done. Let's go. Caleb, we have a lot of oysters here to the right. Could be some snook and reds. That's cool. No, a decent little snook. Yeah, Caleb, I just cast it close to these mangroves. There's a lot of snook with all these oysters and stuff.
After having my first bite of the day from a decent little snook, we continued cruising down the line.
Dude, I just cannot stop catching ladyfish. It looks the exact same, if not better. Oh my gosh, that's a big snook. That was a monster snook. I just saw its shadow. I thought it was a school of mullet. That was one fish. Nice fish. I think it's a little tarpon. Yep. Wow, that's a dot. Caleb, he's about to eat it. Move it slow. It's a little tarpon, I think.
After seeing 2 stud fish, the next 30 minutes was extremely uneventful. We cruised down the line, constantly casting into nooks and crannies trying to get some fish. I saw some life though before the storm. Birds waiting and hanging out, raccoons scavenging the oysters and mangroves for a bite to eat. It was cool. After that, the rain moved in. The next day, though, I had a window. In the evening, the rain let up for a bit, and the work was already done. I decided to load up the microskiff and take off for the ramp, and it was a phenomenal decision. We took off towards the ramp at about 5 o'clock, 1 rod in the boat. Before I could even get off my street, I noticed the impacts of some of the rain. Drainage ditches looking like streams, filtering the water to nearby canals. I then started heading towards the ramp, somewhere I haven't fished since I was a kid. It's close to me, in easy access, which was the name of the game today. We were on the time crunch. We didn't have much time as we only had 2 hours total to fish. As I dropped the boat in, it was calm. No rain like the day before. No winds either. It was eerie. Big boats were being pulled from the water, and as I went out from the ramp, boats on lifts were tied down, forecasting the surge to come. I wondered if these boats would be alright. The surge was unpredictable as we learned from Hurricane Ian. The boats and abandoned restaurants and houses made the thought that this could all be underwater in 24 hours sink in. It didn't sit right with me. Regardless, we took off towards our first spot, not knowing what to expect, but hoping for some nice fish. And it was well worth it. Guys, throwing the new penny in the tub on the 1/8 ounce DOA jig head in red with the new penny 3-inch. This is gonna kill it. Trying to keep it simple today. Fishing an area that, we're not trying to mess around. We only got a couple hours, if that. It's 6 o'clock right now, so we got an hour or so, hour and a half. Sketchy stuff, man. It's eerie being back here. It's like all this is probably gonna be underwater. This storm's scheduled to go a little bit more north of me, but you never know. Just praying for everyone.
with the storm, you know, it's scary stuff, but we're gonna get to fishing. Fishing literally before the storm. It's the 8th. Something just hit behind me. It's the 8th and the storm's coming through literally tomorrow, so scary stuff, man. That being said, guys, I'm excited to fish. Kind of crazy being out here, you know what I mean, with all this stuff, but got the shutters up at home, as you guys saw, so we're ready to go. Let's get on them. It's kind of depressing, because I've already done a video like this. I did a video like this literally 2 weeks ago. You know what I mean? It's like I shouldn't have to be doing another one so soon. A lot of people are still recovering from the last one. It's sad stuff. Like I said, it's just scary being out here. It's weird. Kind of the calm before the storm too. It's sprinkling now, and a little bit it won't even be raining, according to the radar. If you're ever exploring, guys, throw a gulp shrimp. Or if you're on a time crunch, just keep it simple. Just add a little fish. It's pretty deep. It's high tide. I don't know if it has to do with the moon. It was a weird moon. I don't know if it has to do with the fact that the water temperature is just so down. The water temperature is so crazy right now because we've just been raining for 4 days straight. But I think it's really affected the fishing because I have not been able to get a bite, man. Just a little snook with my little brother, as you guys saw. You know what I mean? Nothing crazy. Been seeing some tarpon.
The mangroves looked extra green today. The clouds made the heavily stained water even more dark. The water was so fresh back here from all of the rain, I began wondering if I was going to have an impact on these fish. I worked mangrove lines pretty tirelessly for about an hour. No luck. Then I remembered a spillway that I used to fish as a kid. The rain had been falling so hard the last couple days, I knew it would be dumping out water. Fish tend to congregate at these spillways due to the bait and fresh water that pours out of these man-made rivers. I decided to pack up shop and head back to where I knew I would have a shot at some great fish. When I got back here, I was once again reminded how low some of these houses already are to the water. That being said, we put the trolling motor in the water and got to fishing.
Alright guys, I think we have a spillway here if my childhood doesn't forsake me. I remember some mean lady being here. So hopefully that's not an issue. Yeah, it's flowing. Here we go. Little guy. Little snook right there. He choked it. Look at that. Beautiful little snook. You can see his colors. He's super dark. Here's a really rocky bottom. It's actually a decent snook. Gonna try to get around this dock. Don't want him to snap me off. He came off. Jeez, these things are everywhere, man. They're all decent ones, too. There we go, look at that fish. Guys, this spillway has just been money, man. I've hooked some bigger than this too. You can see that bait down in there. He choked it. Beautiful fish right there, guys. Look how dark he is. You can barely even see him. Super dark. I am extremely frayed up. I don't even think we have time to re-rig. Guys, I think we've hooked something even bigger than that, not gonna lie. Got me around the corner. Yep, the spillway is as I remember it. Guys, this is nuts. I don't know how he hasn't snapped off. Two down. Let's go, guys. Let's go. Such a fat, dark fish. Look at that. These things are all probably 24-ish. Let's go get another one. There's got to be a big one in there too. It's every single cast. I've come to the conclusion these people aren't home because of the hurricane. Otherwise, I would have respectfully been asked what the shape of Italy looks like. So we're gonna capitalize on this because I'm never coming back here. All right, this dock still has current going under it. I bet there's some under this current. And then we're gonna get out of here. It's getting late. Ooh, that was a nice one, dude. One more cast back in here. Time to go. Gonna get back. Gotta get out of here. Got a little idle before us. Guys, ending it with that snook. Those snook were awesome. That spillway there was probably 50 of those things in there. Good gosh. Anyways, appreciate you guys. Guys, please stay safe if you can. I know there's a big storm coming. Hopefully you guys can get away from it for a little bit and enjoy this video. But stay safe, guys. Talk to you guys after the hurricane. As always, God bless you guys. Stay safe. Peace out.
As I left this spillway, I was grateful to find some fish. Knowing that within 24 hours this hurricane was going to hit was weird to say the least. I was praying for the houses I just fished near and the wildlife I was capitalizing on. I hope all you guys stay safe and do as good as you can through this time. And with that being said, I'll see you guys in a week or so when things calm down and we can get back on the water, seeing how fishing is after a hurricane. God bless. I'll see you later. Stay safe.